Mm. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hi, hello, good morning, hello. It's in moments like this where I wish that my model had the sleepy face. Hi, hello, good morning, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, good morning, hi, welcome, hi, good morning. I overslept just a tiny bit, maybe, possibly. Oh, it's really cold. I don't know why it's so cold. My window's not open or anything. Ugh, but it's pretty cold. But hi, hello, good morning, welcome. Hi, everyone. Hi, Maury, welcome. Congrats on first. And hi, Sever, welcome. Congrats on second. We're all doing well. I finally be here because I'm boxing my home. Gotta love a winter storm. That actually happens. I thought it was something they made up in cartoons. Then again, I come from Norway. If Norway worked by by American rules, where oh it's a snowstorm, you can't go to school, we would never be going to school in the winter. But yeah, it's been really cold lately. But there hasn't been any snow. There was some snow in December, but now that there's no snow, it makes me worried about the environment. That there's no snow in fucking Norway. Currently 12 degrees right now. There's like a foot of snow with several inches of ice as well. How much is a foot again? 1 foot in meters. Zero 0.3048 meters. Math. That means it's like 30 centimeters of snow. Ye- ye- Convert the temperature, but not feet to meters. Damn it. You're fine. I have Google. You don't have to worry. But like, yeah, of course. I will preface this by saying, yes, I am from Norway. I'm just used to this kind of weather. But like, minus 12 degrees and only like about 30 centimeters of snow. That is not don't go to school weather. At least not over here. it's not comfortable weather by no means. But it's not unbearable. Over here, that's a literal extreme. Damn. I mean, makes sense. Norway is so far north. It's in the name. Well, the origin of the name, at least. How cold is it currently? Because it feels really cold. Don't expect it to be that cold outside. It's only about -5 degrees. Well, that's still pretty cold. Don't get me wrong, that's still pretty cold, but it's not as bad as it could get over here. Anyway, that's what's going on over here on the other side of the Atlantic. I'm sure there are other things happening, but we don't have to talk about that on stream, or Twitch will get really mad at me. Anyway, it's art time. I'm still cold. I don't know why my room is so cold. I didn't have the window open while I was sleeping. I sometimes do that, but it would have been super fucking cold if I did. Anyway, art. Hey Azuki, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Longer yet. To glance behind the phantom of the opera is there. Anyway, I wanted to work on, because I wanted to work on something last stream, but I was so focused on finishing this doodle of my Zona, just so, because I had won a commission or an art giveaway from a streamer I really like, and so I needed a reference. But what I actually wanted to draw last stream was, oh, drawing tablet is acting weird. This. I still need to come up with more ideas for little accessories. It's Marvel Rivals, for those who aren't aware. I'm sure none of you are. Because I'm working on a. I won't be too public about it yet. I want to get a lot of it done. I want to get a lot of it done before I actually share most of the art. But I am working on a concept, an idea for a Marvel Rivals season, including everything they usually add within a season, including, you know, a bunch of like accessories for the heroes. Been good to out old cringe art last night, and I'm gonna burn it in my boyfriend's fireplace this upcoming weekend. That's such a mood. I did that a while back. I remember I was looking for a specific drawing that I did. I didn't end up finding that drawing. It's a drawing that I was pretty proud of. But I looked through some of my old art, and there was a lot of cringe. A lot of just, ugh. Not even, like, I think the art was bad. It just reminded me of me at the time, and it made me cringe. Especially the really cringe Yuri art. Ugh, I don't want to remember that era of my life. When I was on I wish I had a soundboard so I could play like a dramatic like lightning bolt effect when I say this. Unfortunately, I can't. But back in my days on Amino, where I used to where I had some friends that I'm not in contact with anymore because I stopped going on that fucking app. And most of my friends there also stopped at some point. But yeah, we used to ship our OCs there and draw art of it, and it was not great. My art from that era was not great, especially since my OC was a blatant self-insert. Well, no, not really, not actually. I was just bad at names, and so I named them named the OC Melon because that was my username. I've had the username. I've had Melon in my username for close to a decade now, I think. I don't know. It's gone through several versions over the years. Me back in 2016 to 2021 was such a cringy kid. You remember 2020, 2021? Yeah. I remember. Anyway, here we go. I still need more ideas. Wait. This one. Dog. But yeah, we all have cringe faces in our lives that result in some cringy art. But you know what? We keep going. And then while it will always be a part of us deep down, we will have matured and we can what's the term? We can engage with that part of ourselves in a more mature, educated way. To sound overly like sophisticated. Like I so much love to do. Because I'm such a Well, I can't even remember the word. What's the word? I use the word all the time, and it's at the tip of my tongue. What's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious. I'm such a pretentious asshole is what I meant to say. Something like that. Coffee. I love coffee. I didn't have to brew it myself this morning. My mom already did it before she went to work. Man, I really need to get a job. That's the thing that's like in my mind constantly as of late. I need to get a job. 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 It's not my fault that the only job I wanted, I applied for, but I didn't get the job. I've been trying so hard, but I've been very unsuccessful. That's just life, isn't it? Job market right now is ass. Yeah. How do I draw a dog plushie? Have more luck just waiting to do my indie game dev thing. Honestly, in this economy, maybe you're right. I still want to get that job though. Now my course of action is to wait till the shop opens. And I'll go there every day, at least every week. Get acquainted with the people there. Get them to have them get to know me. Have me be one of their most trusted customers. And then if someone, you know, quits or something like that and they need someone new, and they would be like, this person is always here, they know what they're talking about, and they already applied before the before the shop opened. Hire this fucker, and then it'll be like, okay, and I get the job. I hope that'll work. I mean, even if it doesn't work, hey, nerd shop. I'll be going there anyway. What job was it? They're opening an Outland over at the mall. So that's really cool. It's happening in March. There's a lot of things happening in March. The new Digital Circus episode is coming out in March. The new Outland is opening up at the mall in March. There was one more thing that I recently found out that's happening in March, which is when I had the realization that, oh, there's a lot of things happening in March. And also, I'm going to Oslo to see Book of Mormon. Yippee! Speaking of, there's only a few days left of January. Happy existential crisis, everyone. Heard about the Outland store and I'm excited. There was a nerd store opening up late last year in my hometown. It was pretty shit. It was only basic stuff like Star Wars. Oh god, I hope that doesn't happen at the Outland at the mall. If there's only like really basic stuff there, I would be so pissed. But like the their website and the like application did say mentioned like everything from like D&D to like manga to like comic books. Comic books is what I'm most excited about. Obviously, I'm literally drawing Marvel adjacent things right now. I kind of like Marvel if you haven't fucking noticed. I just realized I forgot to turn on the rock cam. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of into Marvel. That was the gag I was gonna do, but then I realized I didn't have the camera on. But now I have it on, so I'm gonna pet the rock. Thank you, Major Kicks. I also hydrate. Outland usually got a big range since the store opening soon will follow the same Outland stores in the country. That makes sense. It's gonna be so cool. I just wish I could work there. But I guess there were too many applicants that I just didn't get the job due to not having enough experience. That's at least what I assume. That's what I assume. You know? They just said I didn't get the job. They didn't elaborate. The great at comic shops. Been really into DC recently, but Marvel still got a place in my heart. I'm also a big manga gal. Yeah, that's like the thing. I would be really great at like a comic book, at like a shop like Outland. Because I have my fingers in a little bit of everything that they do. D&D, manga, and anime, fucking miscellaneous collectibles. And especially comic books. I have my hands in like everything. Though obviously my expertise is with Marvel. That's also a thing that I'm very excited about. I want to go and look for comic books because I want physical. Of course, I have my ways of reading comics online, though I'm not going to share them publicly because, you know. But it would be nice to actually have physical copies of books I really like. like Guardians of the Galaxy or Silver Surfer Black. I like that one. The art on it is really cool. Been trying to read some more indie comics, like Something is Killing the Children and Radiant Black. I've heard great things about Radiant Black. I haven't looked too much into it myself, though. Hello, Tenant. Congrats on third. I will pet the rock for you. It's so hard to get the art style right for these fucking plushy. That's not gonna work. Heavily recommend Radiant Black alongside Image Comics Massiverse. I can guarantee you'll find something that you'll like. Cool. Is there any accessory already in the game that looks enough like a dog that I can use it for reference? Marvel Rivals accessories. Because this dragon that I drew down here needed a second pass because when I first drew it, it didn't look enough like a plushie. And then I actually looked at the accessories already in game, specifically the alligator Loki and the Khonshu plush, in order to like really get a feel for like what shapes to use. This is more similar to what it looked like initially in the initial sketch. Then I had to redo it. But I don't think there are any dogs in the game. Is there anything close enough to a dog? Luna Snow has like a fox spirit thing, but hmm. A friend Shroomy was playing Rivals recently. They were laughing at a clip they made with Deadpool. It was hilarious considering how perfectly timed it was. They also enjoyed hearing the Japanese voice for Deadpool. Awesome. Man, I need to get onto Rivals and play some Deadpool. I haven't actually done that yet because I've been on an Overwatch thing lately. You guys know. But it's about time I uninstall Overwatch and get back on Rivals, even though my fucking PC will suffer for it. Definitely makes it look a little bit more dog-like than just the tiny little eyes. Not in the sense that it looks more like a dog now, but like in the sense that it has the essence of dog with it. You know what I mean? Deadpool is unironically so damn fun. I know, he does look really fun. God. The problem is, though, I famously hate the character. I don't want to find Deadpool fun out of principle alone. But he just looks so fun. Kind of looks like a rabbit if you, because you kind of see the the tongue as like a. Kind of see the tongue as like a. As like a, you know, teeth. If I can, you know, speak. It's Lucky the Pizza Dog, by the way. If you've read Hawkeye comics or seen the Hawkeye show. Highly recommend the Hawkeye show, by the way. It's really fun. I think it's really fun. I'm one of those people that will defend the hell out of most of the Marvel projects from Phase 4. I know a lot of people don't like Phase 4 because they were just kind of throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. But a lot of it worked for me, at least. I know a lot of people will say, like, Black Widow wasn't good. I haven't actually seen Black Widow. It doesn't interest me. Which is kind of part of the problem. It's like, oh, we already know Black Widow is dead in the universe. Why make a movie now? But I enjoyed Eternals, although I will admit that that one isn't actually for everyone. That one is definitely not for everyone. But it's something unique, which is like a thing that everyone always complains about with the MCU. It's so samey these days. But then Eternals comes out and everyone's just like, oh, well, that one just sucks. I liked it though. And though in recent years, I've seen a lot of people actually. This is no longer a hot take. I don't think it was ever a hot take. It's just that a lot of people didn't care much for Shang-Chi when it came out. But in the years since, a lot of people have been going back to it and were like, yo, we kind of slept on this. And that makes me happy. Because Shang-Chi is probably the best project out of Phase 4, like, no question. I really want to see him return. I'm pretty sure he's set to return in Doomsday. I'm not quite sure, but Shang-Chi, seriously, great movie. Go check it out. Speaking of MCU projects, though, Wonder Man is coming out tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. The new Wonder Man show on Disney Plus. That's gonna be interesting. Can't wait to finally watch Wonder Man. I've been waiting. It looks so good. Different but good. Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting to see a more because like shows like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, they were kind of like a little bit more grounded, like a little bit more slice of life, so to speak, while still being a superhero movie. But Wonder Man is going to be interesting because it seems that most of the conflict isn't going to be superhero based at all, which was not the case in She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. They still had like threats to defeat, but it seems like Wonder Man is more about him just, does he get the part in the movie? So maybe, you know, they just haven't showed anything in the trailers. They want to save any like action for when you actually watch it instead of spoiling what it actually is. But it's still gonna be very cool to see a more reluctant, not even reluctant, just a superpowered being that doesn't want to be superpowered, right? Who just wants to live his life as a guy. He just wants to be an actor. Also waiting to see season 2 of both X-Men 97 and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I did not check out Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man yet. I did start watching X-Men 97, and I'm gonna be completely honest. This is, I could not get into it. I'm sorry. I don't know what it. I guess the mutants just don't click with me. Even when I try to get into X-Men media, I just can't. I don't know what it is. I will forever be the #1 mutant hater. I'm so mutant phobic. Like, I started watching X-Men 97 a little bit. I got to, like, I believe the Mojo episode, and I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. And then I just skipped to the one of the final episodes because I knew there was a Cloak and Dagger cameo. Maybe if I actually try reading X-Men comics, I'll be able to get more invested in the X-Men. But who knows if I'll give that a try. I did read some comics this weekend. Again, online, but I'm not gonna say where. I was just reading a bunch of comics where Phyla-Vell and Moondragon had made appearances because I liked them. And one of them was a mutant story, and they just happened to be in it, and it was actually kind of fun. I really like Emma Frost, actually. I've seen some things where she appears, and I actually kind of love her. Maybe I just like darker stories, so stuff like Daredevil, Batman have always been my favorite. That's fair. That's valid. I guess my favorite has always been the more cosmic stuff. I mean, my favorite team is my favorite thing in comics is the Guardians of the Galaxy, and my favorite comic book character ever is Star-Lord. So like, I'm very partial towards like the cosmic. like I like Cosmic Marvel so much that I've been imagining becoming a voice actor just because I want to voice Silver Surfer in Marvel Rivals. Not gonna happen though, because I'm too lazy to actually put in the effort. Though what I can do is like make a Silver Surfer Marvel Rivals fan concept and then record like a little voice demo of what I want him to sound like. That was a fun thing that I wanted to do with the Marvel Rivals season I'm creating. Once I've made some key art of the characters that I want to add, I want to get some of my mutuals on social media to like do a little voice demos of what I want the characters to sound like. Problem is, for the characters, not saying who it is because I'm currently working on them. The problem is I can't think of any of mutuals that sound something like the characters that I'm currently working on. Well, I can think of one, but like it's one of those friends that is so. It's one of those mutuals where like I don't interact with them enough that if I just suddenly come to them like, hey, would you want to do this for me for like 20, 30 bucks? It would be a little bit weird. Was gonna offer my services? Well, I do have a list. I do have a list of like potential characters I have in mind. I have the ones that I'm currently working on. Blacked out. You can kind of see what it says. This is my current project, but like I had ideas for like other ones. It's mostly just characters that I would love to see in the game. Specifically Drax and Gamora and Nova and Silver Surfer. And Wonder Man. I had a really cool idea for Wonder Man. And a decent idea for Mystery Immortal as well. So my idea for Wonder Man, while it's definitely a cool idea, I don't think it would actually work in Rivals. Luckily, I'm not an actual game dev. I'm just doing this for fun, so I can do whatever I want. Realistically, it would be very bad for the game. But because I think it's a fun idea and I'm not actually working for NetEase, I can do it. Because like imagine if, because currently in the comic, and for a while, Wonder Man has been a pacifist. He doesn't actively do like superhero stuff. The Avengers just call him in sometimes for like backup. And he doesn't actually like fight, he just uses his powers like defensively. So imagine a character that doesn't fight, has no like damage dealing abilities, only like defensive abilities. Again, this probably wouldn't work for a game like Rivals. I just thought it would be a fun idea. There's actually one person that I think could do a good voice for one of the characters I'm working on. That is so close to me that I wouldn't it would be no problem asking. But it's kind of like I feel awkward about it still because it's almost like she's too close to me that I feel it would be weird to ask. And that is Sunday. I think her voice might work well for one of the characters that I'm working on, but I would feel awkward asking her to like do a voice recording of some little voice lines. Also, it's also hard to come up with voice lines for characters that aren't that iconic and have really famous catchphrases. Then again, when has fucking Iron Man ever said maximum pulse in the comic? Kind of a Rivals thing to suit his ult. Oh. That is indeed a dog. Let me add a tag to it. Actually, I think the tag would be underneath the tail, like here. I want the thing. I want the clip at the top to be kind of shaped like the clip on like a dog leash. Just because I think it would be unique and it would be cute. So it's like something like that. There we go. Imagine Keith David in Marvel Rivals. Who could he play? I mean, he would never be in something like Marvel Rivals. I don't see Keith David doing a role like that. He's usually in a lot bigger productions than this little game. He'd be a pretty good Thanos, I think. I can see him as a Thanos Like, he has a nice gravel to his voice that I think would do really well on Thanos. Other than that, is there anyone, though? That's enough to show that it's like a pizza. The round thing with the triangle thing. You know that that's a pizza. Now what's a golden retriever color? This is like gold retriever color. Whose idea was it to give Hawkeye a pet dog that eats pizza? Because whoever that was, they need a raise. Ah, man, I want to fill up on coffee. I think I finished it. I did. Dog. Let me get the same exact purple that Hawkeye has. Hawkeye Marvel Rivals. Bless me. Rider. Hey Arsen, welcome. Congrats on 69th. Oh, this is not purple. This is blue. This is Hawkeye's purple, just all the way zoomed in. That is not purple. That is blue. What do you mean? It looks so purple in game. Why when I zoom in on the official render, does it turn blue? All right, I guess I'll make my own purple. I made the psychic friend Fredbear. I have made psychic friend Fredbear. How's the mail? I'm doing pretty alright. I just realized that the rock is not looking at the camera. Ugh. I've just been yapping about Marvel and Rivals and the if Keith David would be a good Thanos. Your opinion on that? I don't think he'd ever do a gig in like a video game. I don't think he I don't think he does that. Hold on. Uh Behind the voice act. Keith David. Yeah, he doesn't seem to do games unless is it no, he was in Destiny 2. Okay. Is that all? It wasn't Halo. Okay. I guess I only really know him from movies. I didn't realize he actually loves games quite a lot. Hey, then maybe he would do Rivals. That would be cool. I would love to see fucking Keith David in the game. I love Keith David. He's the GOAT. He would fucking rock as Thanos. Maybe. There we go. Lucky the pizza dog. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. I think this idea needs a second pass. It doesn't feel that balanced, but I love the idea. It's the fantastic car keys for Mr. Fantastic. And it's got his children on it because why not? Well, here's a problem though. That was the only other idea I had for accessories. I don't even know what accessories to give to the final two. I don't even know what the final two heroes are. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. When they usually release 10 at a time. Love the new heroes accessory. I fucking love that. Yeah. It's a dragon. I'm not gonna give context. You're just gonna have to theorize what Marvel character has a sword that isn't already in the game. Hmm. Dear God, I'm lagging so bad. What the fuck? Is it me? Doesn't look like it's me. Okay. What other characters? Do you have my list? I do have my list. Well, now I can check off Mr. Fantastic and also Bloodstone, though. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. 2 more. I've been thinking Hulk, but I can't come up with anything for him. Is the issue. What heroes don't have? Because some accessories are so new. They just came out that I'm like, oh, Daredevil doesn't have. Oh, wait, he does. Oh, Blade doesn't have. Well, oh, wait, he does. Namor doesn't have one. I don't want to give one to Namor. What's it even gonna be? Venom doesn't have one either. But this is a cute dog, though. Very cute dog. I was planning my own thingy. I was like, does Rocket have an accessory? Then remembered, yeah, he does. One of the first one in the game, in fact. Oof. That is an oof moment. Oof moment. Oof moment. Oof troop. Oof troop. Da, 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 da. You guys remember Goof Troop? The 90s show about Goofy? Oh yeah, then there's this. Which dragon color do I go with? Do I go with the green or do I go with the black? I am unsure. I'll have to think about the lore on that one. So who doesn't have an accessory? I don't know. Black Widow doesn't have one. Hulk doesn't have one. Venom doesn't have one. Uh, Magnet. No. No, she does. Penny. I don't know what to do for Penny. There's not a lot to Penny. I'm gonna leave that to fucking NetEase since their version of Penny is basically their OC. They know best. Hey, Sethin. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Not gonna lie, we love Lucky, but Hockey should have got the anti-Hulk combo as his accessory. Ah, yes. The anti-Hulk combo. His secret weapon. Tony could never. Iron Fist doesn't have one, but like, what do I do for Iron Fist? His sword? From when he was Swordmaster? That kind of makes sense. Makes more sense than the fantastic car keys. I love how I pronounce it fantastic car keys, because it's like... Because, like, They would technically be the keys to the Fantastic Car, so it would be the Fantastic Car keys. But pronouncing it Fantastic Car keys is like we just made a completely unrelated set of like car keys just to make them like fantastic car keys. Has nothing to do with a fantastic car. Venom. 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 Ah. Venom. Ah. uh I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just need 2 more. So dusty in my room. On my desk specifically. I just need 2 heroes with good ideas for accessories and I can't think of anything. Phoenix has one. Psylocke has one. Jeff has one. God damn it, Cloak and Dagger has one. All my favorite characters have them, other than the ones that I've already made accessories for. Read where the keys to the Fantastic Car are next to the Fantastic Car keys. What? What? Well, but like, why? Because. Okay. Cool. My boy's a little autistic, but he's still cool. That's what Ben says about Reed. Marvel Rivals characters. Let me see the whole list. Who doesn't have any? Wolverine has one. Winter Soldier has one. Venom doesn't. Ultron doesn't. Thor does. Thing doesn't. Punisher doesn't. Storm does. Star-Lord does. Squirrel Girl does. Spider-Man does. Scarlet Witch does. Rogue, Rocket, Psylocke. Penny doesn't. Namor doesn't. Moon Knight. Mr. Fantastic doesn't. Mantis, Magneto, Magic, Luna Snow, Loki, Jeff, Phoenix, Iron Man, Iron Fist doesn't. Invisible Woman, Human Torch, Hulk doesn't. Hela doesn't. Hawkeye doesn't. Groot, Gambit, Emma Frost, Doctor Strange, Deadpool, Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger, Captain America, Blade, Black Widow doesn't. Black Panther, Angela doesn't, and Adam Warlock doesn't. Did we get that? So it's Venom, Ultron, Punisher, Penny, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, Iron Fist, Hulk, Hela, Black Widow, Angela, and Adam Warlock. Literally, it's only 13 heroes that don't have accessories yet. Which means next season, most heroes in the game will have accessories. That's insane. I didn't even think about that. What do you do for Hella? Oh my god, what the fuck do you do for Hella? Another puppy? No, I already did a dog, and I already did like a snake dragon thing. I can't give her Fenrir or Snaky Boy. I don't want to pronounce the name. Your mama gander or whatever. Came up with one for Reed and for Sting and for what do I do for Punisher? His dead family? I don't know Punisher well enough, so he's out. And I don't know what to do for Hella, so she's out. And don't want to do Penny, so she's out. No. No. Your mama gender is one hell of a pronunciation of his name. Yeah. Propaganda at your mama, right? Propaganda at your mama. Your mama gander, you know? Ha 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 ha. Also, feel like Loki would have accessories of Fenrir and Jormungandr because they're his kids. Yeah, but that means they're Hela's siblings. And what else do you give to Hela? Most people only know Hela because of Thor Ragnarok, where like Fenrir was like there as like her dog. So like I don't know. Maybe just Death? You know, Death, the cosmic entity in Marvel. Because she is like an avatar of Death, sort of. Although that would make Death would make a lot more sense for Thanos. If he ever came to the game. Honestly, the biggest contenders for me right now are Hulk, Venom, I must be forgetting some characters. There's no way I'm conflicted about who to give accessories when the only ones that come to mind are Hulk and Venom. Namor? Mostly because I just like Namor. Already gave one to Fantastic. Don't care for Hela or Iron Fist. I guess I'll write up Iron Fist. I did come up with an idea for him. So if I can't think of anything better, I'll just give him the little sword. Black Widow is another one I don't know enough to know what to give her. Okay, let me brainstorm. What one idea for each of one idea for each of them. Hulk. The whole thing with the accessories, at least lore-wise in the game, is Angela, not Angela, why the fuck? Galacta is like, hey, dude, I know this is like some weird fucked up mission that you have to go through to stop Doom from destroying the multiverse or whatever. So I made you a little trinket to comfort you, to remind you of your home and what you love the most. That's like the thing. They're meant to be comfort for the character. That's why most of them are like plushies of their loved ones or good friends. But Hulk doesn't really have any good friends. He's kind of defined by his suffering, if you think about it. Give Hulk, I don't know, the door? You know, I thought about it. I thought about that, but like again, it's supposed to give them comfort. That is probably the least comforting thing you could ever give him. What's the name of that guy? What's the name of that guy? He's not specifically a Hulk character. He's he gets around with a lot of superhero business, from Hulk to Quasar to Thor. But originally, he originated in the Incredible Hulk. He's the guy that Hulk saved from the Gamma Bomb. Rick Jones, that's his name. Again, not specifically a Hulk character. I guess Hulk is the character he's most associated with. But he's been a lot of things. He's been associated with Quasar. He's been associated with Thor. He's been Bucky, apparently. Just scrolling through his page on the Marvel wiki. He was A-Bomb. I always forget that he's the A-Bomb. Because like he wasn't that for so long. And apparently he's currently he's currently under the alias Captain Spider. So I guess he's even associated with the Spider-Man side of the universe now. But I guess if one person would have Rick Jones as an accessory, it would be Hulk, right? It would be Hulk. So like, I guess Rick Jones makes sense. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, Rick Jones for Hulk. Okay. Strike you off the list. It's actually a good one. Unless I can think of something better for any of the other ones. Namor is a tricky one for sure. Like, what do you even do for Namor? Susan in a jar? Ugh. He really just kind of cares about his dog. Atlantis snow globe. I might be cooking. I will stretch. Thank you, Major Kicks. Ugh. Obviously, the thing on the inside will have to. I'm gonna have to design Atlantis and then like draw it better, but like has like floating fish inside. It makes sense too to have Atlantis in the snow globe because it's like covered in water, underwater. Like this makes sense, right? This is a cute idea. Because if there's one thing, I'm not even gonna undermine this with a joke about Susan. Because like this is actually true about Namor. If there's one thing in the world Namor cares about more than anything, it is his kingdom. That doesn't mean he's that great at protecting his kingdom all the time, but he sure does care. Maybe represent that by having it actually be like a little bit cracked. Nah. Have it hang by his his belt or something. Actually, he could hang at the end of his trident, probably. No, probably not, because he throws his trident. It would have to... It makes sense for, like, Loki to have his accessory on his staff, because he always holds it. But maybe not Namor, because he throws the trident. Maybe it would have to hang from his, like, belt. That is genuinely so smart. I might have to work very hard on that one though in order to make it look good, because I have to just essentially... No, actually, I don't think Rivals, if Rivals did this, they wouldn't be too detailed with the Atlantis model. They would just make some geometric shape that vaguely looks like a castle or a city. So, you know, actually just doing it like this is probably exactly what they would do if they had this idea. You know what? That one is definitely a winner. Now, can I think of anything for Venom? What is something Venom finds comfort in? Symbiotes do love chocolate. I will pet the rock. Thank you, Julian. Also, welcome. His husband, but they're always together, so that's redundant. Yeah, especially since they've been making a lot of skins where like Eddie is just there. There was the Phoenix skin from season 3, and then now in this season, the Battle Pass skin just has Eddie's face showing. I'm pretty sure we're actually really close to the year that the idea I had a year ago, and that I keep bringing up occasionally, that whenever the next Hellfire Gala event is, which is probably soon, it's likely next season or the season after that, they're gonna give Venom a skin that is just Eddie wearing a suit, like a tuxedo suit, and that tuxedo suit is Venom. I can totally see that. Because that's something he can do in the comics. He's literally symbiotes can disguise themselves as everyday clothes. So it doesn't even mess with the lore. He can still like shoot out his fucking tentacles from the suit. Even if the suit is just a suit and not like Venom. Suspiciously buff Eddie. He is actually that buff. Is the thing. He is that buff in the comics. Not only is he really buff in the comics, but also the few times... There's a gallery card from season 3, I believe, where that shows Hela ripping the symbiote off. And like, he isn't that much smaller than the symbiote. I think Venom is just like a thin layer above his skin. He just is that buff. I think yesterday I saw someone post on fucking Twitter. Art. They made a mock-up of like let's see if I can let me see if I can find it. Someone had made a mock-up. Here it is. Of stream is gonna lag tiny little bit. Because I'm opening another Opera. Can I show this on stream? Yeah, who cares? Probably, since it's a man. Someone made this mock-up of like Venom, but like it's just Eddie. And like, it's not like it looks that weird. There's some really buff guys in Marvel Rivals already. This is not that weird. Also, yes, Eddie Brock is just that huge in the comics. Honestly, it's I would love something like that. Yeah, I'm skipping this song. I don't like it that much. His neck is gone. You know what? I'm doing the Namor Snow Globe and Rick Jones for the Hulk. Let me transfer them over to the sketch layer. So I can sketch on them instead. I don't need that bitch baby ass sketch. I'll just sketch a new Rick Jones. Also, they did give Eddie Brock a voice actor. I wonder. Okay, let me cook. Let me cook. I know a lot of people with the Lady Loki skin. A lot of people see it as an opportunity to bring in like completely different characters that just share the same moveset. Like Beta Ray Bill as a Thor skin, or like what's another one I've seen a lot of people Red Hulk as a Hulk skin, and certain others. Spider-Gwen as a Spider-Man skin. And while I think it's cool, and they can absolutely do something like that, it also doesn't work the same because Lady Loki is still Loki, and so the voice interaction still makes sense even though the voice is different. With something like Danny Rand Iron Fist skin, there are still voice interactions where they fucking reference Lin Lie and like when he was Swordmaster. So it doesn't really work. But a Venom skin where, for example, the Hellfire Gala idea I had where it's just Eddie, but like in a tuxedo, but the tuxedo is Venom. And they change his voice lines to just be Eddie Brock. Because Eddie Brock does have a voice actor, and I believe it is separate from the guy, the Venom voice. In the fucking Clintar, the Phoenix Venom skin, when he uses his emote, it randomly plays 1 out of 3 voice lines. That is Eddie Brock. I think like giving the Lady Loki treatment to Venom in a case like that would be fire, because it is still the same character. Venom and this Eddie and the symbiote do speak together, so like any interaction between any character would essentially still be the same if it was just Eddie. So like just give him a skin where like you just replace his voice lines with Eddie. That's honestly a great idea. Actually big brain idea for like a Lady Loki type skin. Instead of just, hey, I want this character in game, but they're never going to be added in the game because they're too similar to existing character. So make them a skin instead. Because like that is not exactly how it works. I also think it would be cool if they like added Danny Rand to the game that way, but it's just not gonna happen, unfortunately. So some schmucks say Carnage and the other symbiotes should just be Venom skins. I mean, a lot of symbiotes are just, they don't have special abilities, but like those symbiotes aren't important enough to become, for people to care. Carnage, though, I could see. And only Carnage. I don't want the game to be bombarded with symbiotes. It's the same argument I said with the fucking why I don't want Spider-Man 2099 as his own character. I just don't want too many spider characters. And I might get hate for saying this, but Venom and the symbiotes are spider adjacent characters. They're Spider-Man adjacent. They are very Spider-Man-esque. How does Rick Jones look? Rick Jones. He just has very average hair. Very average white boy hair, it seems. Cool. I just don't want too many spider characters in the game, okay? I can see them making Miles Morales, I can see them making Carnage, and maybe one more character. And then that's enough! There's enough spiders! We already have 3 spiders. Scream and Carnage deserve to be their own characters. I can see Agony as a Scream skin and Lash as a Carnage skin, not gonna lie. Again, I can see Carnage, but I don't want too many symbiotes in my game. Because I'm a hater. I'm gonna make a Rick plushie a little bit uniquely shaped by putting a huge focus on the leather jacket. Imagine if it's removable. Little removable leather jacket for Ricky. Give him the Marvel logo on his chest. On his little t-shirt. Every day I wish for Quicksilver. I think he's coming at some point. The one of the I mentioned this last week, I think, but there was this one guy, I forget his name again, but he's a guy with very much like he's in the know. I don't know how he's associated with rivals. I have just heard his name thrown around a lot, and he seems to be in the know on a lot of things, so I don't really care, but I do trust him. And he said something along the lines of, if a character is like really popular, don't worry, they will be in the game, just fucking be patient. Specifically said that about people asking about Captain Marvel, but I think it applies to Quicksilver as well. People really, really like Quicksilver. And Wanda's in the game, Magneto's in the game, Quicksilver will be in the game eventually. I don't think anyone needs to worry about that. There is little Rick Jones. Skip this one, we heard it early. Skip that one too. In that case, I wonder when they'll add Xavier. Trust me, they've been working on him. He's been on the leaked list of heroes that they have been working on. Xavier has been there. He is one of the ones that they're working on. That's a very old list, by the way. It was leaked back in like season 1 or season 0. But considering people on that list include the likes of Phoenix, Blade, Deadpool, a bunch more that I can't remember, you know. I mean, it means there's no reason fucking Xavier's not coming to the game. Yondu would also be cool with his arrow. I have kind of strong opinions when it comes to Yondu. Putting Yondu in rivals. Let me make sure that this guy is to scale with the rest of the plushies I drew. The rest of the plushies are in a completely separate thing. That was to scale. I have kind of strong opinions of what I want them to do with with Yondu in Rivals, because I specifically want them to add the original Yondu. For one, he's just more interesting than like the modern Yondu that's MCU based. And two, because, you know, I want Yondu and Peter to react just so you could like literally throw it in people's faces that Yondu has nothing to do with Star-Lord. Because people still out here thinking that Star-Lord is Ego's son because of the MCU. I want to dispel misinformation about my favorite character. So I want Yondu to appear in the game just specifically to say, you are not the father. Since Rivals is more comic based, they definitely would. No, but the thing is, I'm talking about the original 70s Yondu. But after the Guardians of the Galaxy debuted in 2008, that was, well, first of all, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, which Yondu was a part of back in the 70s, were explicitly from the future and have since been retconned to be an alternate future and therefore technically an alternate universe. So the original Yondu is from an alternate universe, which, it's Rivals' whole, like, bread and butter anyway, so, like, I don't understand why they wouldn't. But also, in the current comics, they have introduced a current-day 616 Yondu, who is just like in the movies. And it pisses me off so much. And then they force him to have the dynamic with Peter, like they have in the fucking comics, even though they have nothing to do with each other. I do think they actually retconned Peter's origin to that he was actually he did actually join the Ravagers after he went to space. And interacted with Yondu. But for one, they haven't, like, brought that up in, like, a decade now. Almost. And two, fucking... in the comics, Peter was an adult when he first went to space. So, like, they don't have this father-son dynamic. Yondu was an angry boss he had one time, basically. Don't get me wrong, I think Yondu is awesome, especially the movie version. I do, despite the harm that the MCU has done to people's perception of Star-Lord as a character and his origins and relationships, I do really enjoy the movies for what they are. I do love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And even though, Peter's origins are different, he has different relationships, and, like, even his fucking element guns were removed, he is still definitely Star-Lord at heart. And I do love MCU Star-Lord as well. I just hate that has become what people expect from Star-Lord. And so even now with Rivals having Star-Lord in it, people still say, like, oh, isn't he the son of a planet? No. He's the son of Julius Caesar from space. Sorry, rant over. Just pisses me off a little bit. Space Caesar? Okay, not exactly Space Caesar per se, but, like, the Spartax Empire, as you can tell by the name, is very much like it's the Roman Empire but in space. And since Jason is the emperor of the Spartax Empire, it makes him Caesar. So he's not very much like Caesar. He's not as bloodthirsty. He's actually a pretty cool guy. He just doesn't like his son. He's not on good terms with his son. It's Jason's other kid, Victoria, who is the actual problem. While Jason just wasn't on good terms with Peter, which was mostly on mostly a Peter thing, because like, hey, dude, you left my mother to die. In fact, it's worse because in the comics, Peter's mom, yes, she died. She did not die of cancer. She was assassinated by aliens coming to kill Peter because he's the son of Jason. So technically, Jason is the reason why Peter's mom died. So it's kind of similar to like what they ended up doing with the MCU, like how Ego gave mom cancer. But you know, Jason didn't intentionally do that. It was meant as like political assassination. It was inadvertently his fault, but he didn't pull the trigger. But like Victoria is the problem child because like she actually just hates Peter for not wanting to be part of the Spartax Empire. Uh Even though she became the queen because of Peter not wanting to be part of it. So it's like, girl, why are you mad? You get to have the power now. But it doesn't matter because in recently there was a new comic that was meant to reestablish like the basis for Marvel's cosmic politics and completely reshuffled the space politics of the Marvel universe, where now the Kree-Skrull alliance has separated again. So now the Kree are by themselves and the Skrulls are by themselves. The Skrulls and the Shi'ar did not even want to be part of this new alliance, so they're kind of rogue. And at the very tippy top of this new alliance is the Spartax Empire, where Peter actually decided to take the throne. So Peter is currently the king of space, basically. The emperor of space. So that's cool. My goat is the king of space. Here's what he looks like at the end of that arc. The aura. The aura. That's my goat right there. That's my goat. I now realize I'm still gonna go with this idea because I like it more, but I just had the realization that I could have done like a snow globe where it's like a little like statue of Susan doing like the Venus pose. You know, the scene of Venus coming up from the ocean in that famous painting where she's like standing on the shell and she's like covering her stuff. And I just realized that would have been such a fun way to have Namor put Susan in a jar, but still have it be PG. That would have honestly been so funny. But I'm still gonna go with this idea because I like it a lot more. It's a lot less shitposty. Namor with the Sue Storm doll. Susan already has an accessory which is like Herbie, which means that whenever they so it's gonna be a while, and it's a few seasons away until we get new accessories for everyone. Although in game the accessory sections does have more slots for each hero, so they definitely are making more accessories once they've given one to each character. But whenever that time comes, I would love if Sue and Reed got matching plushies. And then give Namor a Sue plushie that is like clearly homemade. Like like Reed's Sue plushie is like an actual like plushie that looks like really cute and like nicely made. Meanwhile, Namor's Sue plushie looks all raggedy, like it's made out of scraps. That could honestly be kind of funny. Wrong layer. My eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from the rose on. I think it's a rose, not the rose. Stranger, it feels the air. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the gray. Wah, 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 wah. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like an old addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? Did you know when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Hi Val, welcome! The light hits the gloom on the grey. Yes, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grey. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger. I can't hit the right pitch for this song, Jesus. My voice can either go too high or too low for this song. Now that your rose is in blue, the light hits the gloom on the grey. Namor prefers to storm body pill. You know what? Yeah, probably. Hi Val. Also, congrats on 420. Hope you're doing well. You find yourself a beautiful house, a beautiful wife. You may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Go by, let the water hold down, let the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again after the money's gone. Once in a lifetime. I forgot the lyrics for that part. Oh, my beautiful wife. You may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground. Imagine if they add Rick Jones to Rivals and like they do a thing similar to like what they do with Stan Lee in the Lego Marvel games where like he just has a bunch of like other heroes' abilities. What if they do that with Rick Jones? They just give him some abilities from other characters that he's been associated with. Like his ult is like would be like Hulk, and then he becomes A Bomb. But then he has like he has like Quasar's not in the game. But like if Quasar was in the game, like he would have the quantum bands and he could like use them. Even though technically the way the quantum bands works is that only Quasar can really use them. He just has to be bound to another person. I don't know all the quantum bands lore, it's weird. But like that could be like his regular like attacks using the quantum bands to like shoot. And then you can have Bucky's. No, not Bucky's gun. That wouldn't work if he has the quantum bands. Unless he has both. But that would be stupid. This whole idea is stupid. What am I talking about? I think I've really like. Obviously, my art style is very different from the Rivals' art style, but I think I've nailed like the look of their plushies pretty well. Like you see this and you recognize it. Oh yeah, that's what one of the plushie accessories from Rivals. Like I'm not getting the art style right, but I'm getting the look right. I'm getting the design details right. And I'm really proud of myself for that. Being able to replicate that. Actually, I wonder if, since this is a Hulk accessory, maybe the clip should be something more heavy duty, like a straight up carabiner. Maybe. Since it's a Hulk, it needs to be secure. Like that's gonna fall off. Like a tiny clip like that is gonna fall off when the Hulk does Hulk things. Stream is almost over. I've been so locked in. Imagine a carabiner that's like almost the size of the whole ass plushie. You know what? That's a much better idea. What am I doing? Putting out fire. And putting out fire. Something like that, right? That's what the Hulk would wear. Make sure it doesn't fall off. Heavy duty reinforcement. When the walls come tumbling down, when they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. Do, 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 do. And these indecisions, married with a lack of vision, everybody wants to rule the. Say that you'll never, 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 never need it. One headline, why believe it? Like there's numbers and stuff inscribed on the side of the thing. All for freedom and for pleasure, nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. There we go. Clean it up a tiny bit. Definitely makes him look unique. I mean, that doesn't make much sense for it to be a little chain. It would make more sense if it was like a. like that. There we go. That's the guy. That's our man. That's our boy. Now Hulk can have his little breasty at his side at all times. Imagine the Hulk fucking looks looks at the plushie. Like in the middle of a battle, he takes out the plushie and starts talking like a teenage schoolgirl, like, "Hey, bestie." Did you hear what happened to Tony last week? Yeah, he's so lame. That doesn't sound anything like the Hulk. I can't do a Hulk voice. So, a man waiting in the sky to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. Man waiting in the sky is not to blow it, since he knows it's so worthwhile, he told me. Wow, 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 wow. 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 Wow, 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 wow. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. What does make sense, though, is I don't like this color. I'm gonna turn it more reddish. That's the Marvel logo on this shirt, by the way. That's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm gonna do? Wrong tool. Actually, if I... Now it looks vaguely like the Marvel logo. Just vaguely, though. There we go. Oh my goodness! Looks so good! Oh my god! I cooked on this one! Oh my god! Wow! Wait, why is there a spot of blue on him? That's not supposed to be there. What just happened? Okay. I didn't even see me put that down initially. Song needs more cowbell. Not enough cowbell. You know what? You kind of got a point there. The personality in just the clips alone, giving Hulk a bit heavy duty one because it's the Hulk, giving Hawkeye the like a dog leash like clip because it's a dog, giving Ms. Fantastic a keychain because it's the car keys. This is fun. This is fun. I want this in the game now. I have disappointed myself. I have set myself up for disappointment by the fact that this is not in the game and I'm just making shit up for fun. Oh, goodness. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop before I get ahead. Maybe this project is not for me because I'll just end up being disappointed that none of this is real. But now it's time to end stream, I think. We move over here. No, we don't move over here. We move over here. And then we look for someone to raid. Oh my god, we can raid dinner because he's doing a 48-hour stream, not a 24-hour stream, a 48-hour stream, which is kind of insane work, but he's now at 38 hours, 10 hours left. And he's currently playing some Warframe. We're gonna go raid him just because this is such a rare chance. He usually streams very late at night for me. But I love Dinner. He's one of my favorite streamers. I have huge respect for him. So... have a raid message, you guys. Go ahead and copy that raid message. One for people who are subbed, one for people who are not subbed. Remember to be extra nice during the raid because... do not embarrass... Chat, do not embarrass me in front of Dinner. Do not embarrass me in front of Dinner. He's one of my favorite streamers, and he's really cool. Go send some love over there. I'm just gonna start the raid. I don't have much to say, as always, but I am gonna do a good stretch. Ooh. And also have some water. Yummy, yummy water. I love water. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you had a fun time hanging out with me today. I sure had fun. I appreciate all of you for being here and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the art as well. I really enjoyed the art. Holy shit, I might be the best. Sorry. But yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow with Marvel Rivals. I still haven't downloaded it again. I have to do that now after stream because it's probably gonna take a while. Maybe I'll have to put it off for another time, actually. But yeah, Rivals. Let's play some Deadpool. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. And as always, remember to eat food, drink water, take care of yourself, take your meds if you have them, if you need them. And remember to copy the raid message and say hello to Dinner during the raid. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Tenant. Bye-bye, Val. Bye-bye, Julian. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a